everyone, welcome to the new video. So today we'll discuss about kubectl commands. So without any further ado, let's go. Guys, today we'll discuss about the important commands of kubectl. Why is it important? Because according to my experience, interviewers have asked me to write the kubectl commands for checking the logs, for describing the pods if you want to get specific information, if you want to scale the pods, then what command will you use? And that, see, there are two ways to do it: declarative way and imperative way. So declarative way is using the commands, direct kubectl commands, declaring the configuration. While imperative way is declaring or defining the configuration using a file, using a YAML file or a JSON file, whatever file. Okay. So this is a difference. So this is very important thing to know, that what is declarative, what is imperative way, because in interview they'll ask that give me the declarative way of doing this, give me the imperative way of doing this, give me the declarative way to create the namespace, give me the imperative way to create the namespace. So you should understand the difference between declarative and imperative. Okay. So if they ask you to give the declarative commands, or declarative way of creating the pods of or how you'll debug the logs and everything, so very important to understand the kubectl commands. Why kubectl commands are used? Because with the Kubernetes cluster we should have some medium, and kubectl provide that medium. It's a CLI, command line interface, through which we can communicate with our Kubernetes cluster. So we'll start with the basic command, get commands first of all. So if we want to get that how many namespaces are there in these in this cluster, so kubectl get ns. So what are the default namespaces always present? They are default, kube public, and kube system. Whether you create anything or not, but these namespaces will be default created. Then if you want to get any pods, if you define any namespace, then it will give pods of that particular namespace. But if you are not defining any namespace, so it will give the general, like which have been defined without any namespaces, it will get those pods. Understood? Then these are something which are to get any data. If you want to describe, like suppose if you want to describe any pod, like what all configuration are there, so describe pod nginx, suppose I am doing it. So I have to have the name, can copy it, paste it. So it will describe the whole, pod, that what is the name, what is the namespace, namespace is default, then what is the IP, what is the image ID which it has pulled, through which it has been created. So this it is describing this pod, or how it is created, what is the status. Okay, there is one more command, an OY. Sorry, so it should not be in describe. Hyphen o means output, so it should be in get. Let me do it. So it will give the IP address and everything. So if you want to know the IP address of your pod, then you have to run this command hyphen o wide. It will give the wide format or display. If you want to give it in JSON, it can be given in JSON also. So this you should know. So a commands for creating anything. So if you want to, So commands for creating anything. So if you want to create uh, the namespace, then you have to give ns, then the my app. So my app is created. So if we do get ns, so if you will see that my app namespace is created. Similarly, if you want to create, any pod, then you have to give create pod and pod name, whatever pod name you want to give, and you know in which pod you want to run it, in which namespace you want to run it, that needs to be defined, else it will be created in default. So this is for creating. If you are you know doing it with manifest file, suppose you are keeping the manifest file, and vi, whatever it is, always a manifest file is a YAML file. So test or any ingress gateway dot YAML. So it will create a YAML file. You paste your manifest file over there, and then you know after pasting it to kubectl apply hyphen f the ingress gateway dot YAML. So it will and you also mention the namespace in which you want to create this service, because this is not existing or whatever is the reason because of the error. So the error is because I have given in the GTAEVA, and here the spelling is different. That's why it is giving the error. Ingress gateway.yaml does not exist. But even if we do it, it will not be, because there is nothing in our manifest file, so it won't apply anything. But this is a way how you can do it. So this is a command kubectl apply hyphen f to create the services, to create the deployments, to create the pods using the manifest file. Then very important thing, if you have to debug any then very important thing, if you have to debug any issue of any logs, so you have to give that log name. Suppose I want to, what was our log? Kubectl get pods. So this pod logs I have to check. So this is a best, like this is one of the way to check the issue. If any pod is into any issue, we are using this command only, right? So it will tell us like Docker point entry, whatever. Like it is not having any issue right now, so everything is fine. But if there will be any issue in kubectl log, when you'll run, you'll get the issue. If you need to delete anything, you have to do kubectl delete pod, or delete ns and your ns name. Okay, this will delete. So kubectl delete will be deleting the resources. Then there is one more command in which, if you want to open interactive shell session inside a pods container, so you can give kubectl exec it interactive session, and you can give the pod name over here. Okay, hyphen hyphen slash bin slash bash. So right now, unable to start container process because no such file is present, like when bash. I think it's the yeah, it's because this shell is not present. It's a window, so this file should be present, the shell file, else it will not be able to create or enter into this interactive session. But yeah, you should know the command, because this is very very much asked. Then if you want to scale the replicas, so kubectl scale deployment, then whatever is the deployment name, Like if suppose I'm taking Nginx to replica, suppose it is one, now I have to do it to two. So kubectl scale deployment name, and whatever replicas you want to scale to, you can give. So this is basically this command is very much asked that how will you scale the replicas for any pod. So this is the way. If you want to, watch the status of pod, so kubectl get pods hyphen hyphen watch. Okay, kubectl. So it will be in a watch mode. Like I haven't get the exit. Okay, exit command here. It is in a watch mode. So this is also used if we are, checking the status, or like at all time, like now what is the status of the, like sometime the status of the pods are also changing. Like sometime if it is in a crash loop back state, so sometime will show error. After, few seconds will show crash loop back off. So this is the, so if we have to watch the status, we need to get this watch flag. So these are some of the important commands of kubectl that you should know, and you should know the difference between declarative and imperative, that what is being asked in the interview and how you will reply it. So yeah, that's all.
So that's all for. I hope it's helpful. Please let me know your views in the comment section. Till then, take care. Bye.